New York, home of America's premier racing program. If you're looking to race for riches in the Empire State, the Mooresville Yearling Sale on Monday, September 27th is a must-attend auction. Brought to you by the students of Mooresville College Equine Institute, no other sale in September offers as many New York sired horses and the largest selection of yearlings eligible to the rich $19 million New York Sire Stakes. This year, our catalog numbers 207 by the industry's leading sires and first crop sires: Equinox B, RC Royalty, Sandvik, and Straight Up Lindy. Our catalog is now online, and the printed version is also available. Search our online catalog and view our live updated pedigrees at www.mooresvillesale.com. New York Racing and the Mooresville Yearling Sale, an unbeatable combination.
The Edge in America today comes to you from actually Toronto, where we're standing here with Andrew Kelly, CEO of Harness Racing Australia. Did you get lost? No, seriously, I know you're here on a fact-finding mission. We're glad to have you, and you're just heading out to the airport to head to New Jersey. And I wanted to have a chat with you and just ask you one very simple question to start with, I guess. Can you give us a quick overview of the racing industry in Australia? Because from where we sit, you seem to be doing a lot of things very correctly down there.
Yeah, like everyone, we've got our challenges with growing the fan base and making sure that our financial model works from a wagering perspective. But overall, I think we look back over the last 12, 18 months, and with all the challenges that have been thrown at us, we've come through pretty well and look forward to continuing to grow the business now. And from that perspective, breeding seems to be heading in the right direction, becoming a lot stronger. Prize money is holding up, and wagering, despite the impact of the corporate bookmakers and the Betfairs and betting exchanges of this world, we're heading in the right direction. We're pretty comfortable.
How much of this is attributable to the terrific economy that you have, and your country and Germany and maybe the odd other one are being held up as the examples of, well, again, people are doing it right?
Yeah, well, I'm not an economist, and that side of that side of Australia is a little bit foreign to me, other than to say that on a world scale we seem to be going okay.
I guess in very simple terms, is it simply a case of people having lots of disposable income?
Yeah, I think people are looking for quality in the racing industry. They're being very careful with the way that they're spending their money, but they're trying to make the right choices, and at the end of the day, I think that's standing us in pretty good stead. People are making wise decisions about what horses are entering in their stables at particular times, how they're entering their horses, the way in which they're placing their horses, taking geographical location, other costs into account. I think it's just good management overall.
You are in a unique position in that you have an overview of the whole country. You're located in Melbourne, which is the premier state, money-wise and so forth. One of the things that's puzzling us here is these plane loads of stallions which are going down. Can your breeding industry be going that good that there's that much demand?
Well, time will tell, and I think ultimately it gets back to the point I made before. People are certainly looking for quality. There's no doubt that over time, the broodmares that are available in Australia, people have been making important decisions about which ones they're keeping, and not so much breeding quantity anymore, but looking for quality. And if that's then resonating in terms of the studs bringing quality stallions to Australia, then that's what we'll see. But it's going to be important now to get it, for the studs to get it right from a cost perspective, service fee for the stallions, and because there's only a finite amount of money. At the end of the day, it's going to be a really competitive year. So, look, time will tell, but there's definitely a great buoyancy in the breeding industry in Australia at the moment, and we're certainly seeing that in a number of different ways.
Right. You're coming to the end of an era, in my view, with the imminent retirement of Black's a Fake.
Black's a Fake in front, narrowly from Flashing Red. Black's a Fake finds 3 metres from Flashing Red. Slip and slide down the outside. It's Black's a Fake, and Natalie Rasmussen writes her name in the record book. The first female, the first Queenslander to pull off an Inter-Dominion. Black's a Fake first.
I know he's going to try and make another shot at an Inter-Dominion, but he's really been one of the greatest horses of all time. And we read quite a bit about him. But from where you sit, this next generation that's following, are you optimistic about what you're seeing? Because in many ways they're becoming North American horses because of this massive influx of North American blood, but raised in Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, well, what a story. Black's a Fake. He's just been enormous for us down in Australia. He's had, and at a time when there's been quite a deal of depth in our Grand Circuit racing as well. He hasn't had it all on his own. He's had to do it tough every step of the way. But I'm more than confident that there's a new generation coming through, and that whilst he's not done with yet, we'll continue to see new players on the horizon and new household names from a racing perspective, and that's really exciting for us.
Is there getting to be more emphasis on the younger horses, the 2 and 3 year olds? Is that growing?
Yeah, look, there's no doubt about it, and that's not everyone's cup of tea, and there's lots of debate about whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing ultimately. But we continue to see the growth of size stakes races in Australia, and particularly the Breeders' Crown, which is not far away, being run at Melton on the 20th of August. So we can certainly see the strength in the stake money around the 2 and 3 year olds, and that opportunity for people to get a quick win on their investment. So I don't see that stopping in the short term.
I know it's difficult to do, but I'm going to ask you if you can crystal ball gauge just a little bit. Maybe 2 years out, where do you think your game will be?
Well, I'm really comfortable with where we're at, and I'm really excited about the future. And the reason that I say that is that the young talent, the driver and trainer ranks in Australia at the moment, I can't think of a time when it's been so strong, with a generation of people aged between 16 and 30 years of age who are, mixing it at the really top echelons of our game already. And I look forward to seeing the competitive nature of these people play out over the next couple of years. And I think that well-managed administration, if we can have the government on board from a legislative framework to ensure that our wagering income is protected, we have a really strong financial foundation, which is then built upon by the sale of some of the bigger tracks like Harold Park and the reinvestment of that money back into the sport. I can see really good things happening in Australia, and couple that with obviously what's going to be a real boom in the breeding landscape over the next couple of years. I think we've got some really good stories to tell.
Very refreshing to hear someone so positive. Thanks for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your trip.
It's a pleasure. Thanks very much for having me.
This is Harold Howe with Andrew Kelly, giving you the Edge in America.